It's the National Football League on EA Sports, and we've got a showdown in the Sunshine State. It's gonna be a good one, and it's all up next.
Duval County, here in Florida. On the banks of the St. Johns River, we look inside Everbank Stadium in Jacksonville. Good to be in the booth with Greg Olson. I'm Mike Tirico. Greg, this is a passing league. You know that from your days. It's evolved even more into a game in the air. And boy, do we have a couple of quarterbacks who know all about moving their team via the pass.
Yeah, and I think we're going to see this ball thrown early and often throughout the game. And anyone who loves offensive football, this is certainly a treat. And you said it, Mike. This league has turned more and more with each passing season into a passing league. If you can't throw, if you can't generate points through the air and explosive plays, it is going to be very difficult to compete and win week in and week out in today's modern NFL.
All right, we're just about set for football. The crowd is definitely ready. So are we. Off we go on EA Sports. Whoa. He'll get across the 20, mark him down at the 23-yard line. The Jacksonville offense ready to go to work for the first time. Leading them out, the former #1 overall pick back in the 2021 draft, it's Trevor Lawrence.
You think back just a few years ago, Mike, Trevor Lawrence coming out of Clemson, he was regarded as one of the top quarterback prospects of the last decade, and at times he's fit the billing, but it's been the inconsistency, protect the ball, turnovers. If he can clean up a lot of those miscues, he could be one of the top quarterbacks in this league.
In motion comes Thomas. Right to the air goes Lawrence. And this ball batted away and incomplete. Brian Thomas, the intended receiver. And that will lead to a second down.
This is teach tape for man defense, Mike. I mean, he is not looking back at the quarterback at all. He is in the hip pocket of his receiver. He's staying in phase and in rhythm. And then he knows when the wide receiver's hands go up, attack the ball. And that's about as good as it gets.
And he'll only manage to pick up 3 yards. And that leads to third down.
It's 3rd and 7.
In motion comes Thomas. Lawrence from the gun here on third down. That's caught over the middle by Thomas. And great determination as he gets forward and picks up the first down.
Really nice job there to move the chains early in this drive, but now as they approach midfield, continue to keep your foot on the gas. Don't get conservative. Don't start sitting on the ball. Cross midfield and go. Anytime you find yourself on your opponent's side of the field, you have to be thinking points.
Lawrence gives this one to Etienne. And he'll be brought down just shy of midfield.
The goal of every offense, Mike, is to find a way to establish a balance between the run and the pass. With some success here early on the ground, will open up things as the game unfolds for the quarterback in this passing game.
They'll break the huddle. Coming up now for 1st and 10. Once again, it's Etienne. He'll try to push forward. He'll wind up getting 3 yards with that one. Zion McCollum there on the tackle. Now after the run, we get a stoppage for an injured player. So as they look at the injured player, we'll take a timeout. Second and 7. From the shotgun, it's Lawrence. That's complete. It's Parker Washington. And they'll work this close to a first down, maybe just a tad short. 7th play of this opening drive, and here's 3rd down. They'll try and run here with Bigsby. And he's going to have a Jags 1st down. They get 5 on 3rd and 1.
I think everybody in the stadium saw that run coming, Mike, but good luck stopping it. I mean, all he really had to do was just fall forward, and it would be enough to pick up the 1st down.
Ball rests at the 37. It's 1st and 10. The tight end, Ingram, is on the move. They'll stay on the ground and stay with Bigsby. And he's brought down after a gain of a couple. Second down and 8. Once again, it's Bigsby. And he will work his way down inside the 30, a pickup of 6. Play 10 of this opening drive. And here's 3rd down. Man in motion here is Washington. They show jet sweep and instead run it up the middle. This will not do the trick. They've stopped him behind the line. 4th down coming up.
The idea here for this offense is you're not really thinking necessarily touchdown. You're thinking 1st down. Let's get a fresh set of downs here and reset. But in this case, they suffer a loss, and it brings up 4th down.
Little's kick is good. And the Jaguars will take a 3-0 lead.
And that's a good drive right out of the gate. They're able to make some plays, move the ball down the field. I know they didn't get a touchdown, but that is a good, positive result.
Points on that opening drive. We'll see the response as the kick's away. Now it's Bucky Irving to return. He'll work his way across the 25-yard line. So the Tampa Bay offense set to work for the first time in this one. And they're led by the #1 overall pick back in 2018. Greg, it is Baker Mayfield at quarterback.
Yeah, you have to feel good, Mike, seeing Baker Mayfield back established as a franchise NFL quarterback. He had such a tough journey these last couple years, bouncing around multiple spots around the league. And then last year, down in Tampa, he has a chance to get them to the NFC Championship game just a few plays away. He continues to play up to his potential. This team's going to be tough to beat.
Now a run with the rookie out of Oregon. And this play's going nowhere. Taken down behind the line. A great way for this defense to get on the field and get started.
Well, they try to get the run game started here early on this drive, Mike, and they're just going to have to do a better job up front. There's really nowhere for this ball carrier to go. You never want to lose yards on 1st down, but that's exactly the case here.
They'll go again here with Irving. This defense all over this one. They get him down behind the line. It's a loss of a couple.
The speed and the get-off by the big interior defensive tackle, Mike. I mean, he got through there so fast, he almost took the handoff himself.
2 runs going in the wrong direction, and now it is 3rd and 15. From the gun, it's Mayfield. And he'll be stopped short of a 1st down, and that will necessitate a call to the punt team. It's 4th down.
That's just one of those drives that was out of whack from the start, Mike. They just couldn't get anything going on the early downs, and they'll most likely punt the ball away and hope that their defense can do the same thing and get them the ball back.
And he'll get a few yards back here on the return before being forced out of bounds. The Jags offense ready now for their second drive. They had the field goal on the opening drive to take the early lead, see if they can improve on it here. 3-0 is our score, and it's 1st and 10. They're going to start this on the ground with Bigsby. The hole closes quickly. He'll pick up about 3. They face 2nd down and 7. Working out of the gun, it's Lawrence. To the right side, he's got Ingram, the tight end. So just a lone field goal in the first quarter of play. 3-0 is our score. We'll have more from Jacksonville after this. Backfield empties. 5 receivers in the formation for 3rd down and 5. He'll be forced to just throw that one away. It's incomplete.
So defensively, there's always the initial pass coverage plan, and then when that breaks down and the quarterback goes into scramble mode, how fast can you then move on to the second phase and what they call plaster, meaning find the nearest receiver and almost play a man-to-man, and it's exactly what they did here, and there was nowhere for the ball to go, and he's forced to just throw it away.
A fair catch signaled and taken at about the 18-yard line. The Bucs offense ready for their second possession. This one has been tight so far. A field goal separating the two sides as this drive kicks off with 1st and 10. Out of the shotgun, Mayfield. Godwin working the right side. And he's brought down after a gain of 6 on 1st down.
These are the play calls, Mike, that offensive coordinators use to just get their quarterback and their passing game into some sort of rhythm. Easy pitch and catch, get the ball out of his hand, see a completion. These typically, as the game goes on, lead to bigger and bigger gains.
That's thrown quickly, taken in by Godwin. And they'll mark him down just shy of the 40.
The timing of these RPO concepts, that's the entire key. Remember, Mike, in the college game, they get a 3-yard window that they're allowed to be downfield even on a forward pass. That's not the rule in the NFL. These decisions have to be made quickly. If not, even after a good pickup, you could be coming back due to a flag.
Here comes Otten in motion. Mayfield to throw it here on 1st down. And unable to connect there. It's incomplete.
He decides to go with the safe throw and throws it well short of the sticks. And at this level, Mike, you just can't miss layups like that.
We'll try again. It's 2nd and 10. They send Evans in motion. On 2nd down, Baker. Now, screen set up for Irving. He'll get about 6 before he's taken down. Here's a 3rd down and 4. To throw is Mayfield. He dives, and what a catch for the 1st down. That's his first reception of the ballgame, and it really comes at a good time as they get the conversion on third down.
You just love to see this effort, especially on third down. You understand, you want to keep this possession alive. You have to do everything in your power sometimes to bail out your quarterback, and it's exactly what he does here, and it brings up a fresh set of downs.
A gain of 4 as he's taken down. Here's 2nd and 6. Right back to Irving. He'll be brought down. It was a nice pickup, but a penalty flag on the play. Early indications of a hold.
Still 2nd down.
They'll put one of the tight ends in motion. Baker gonna give it to Irving. And he's able to find a crease, get ahead for 7, and he'll bring up third down. Oh, maybe a free play as he'll look to throw it. That's caught. It's Evans. And he will have the first down. The drive will continue after a pickup of 8.
That penalty is declined.
Now Mayfield. A pass pulled in by Irving. And he's close to another first down as he's brought down just shy of the marker.
Great example of first down efficiency. You don't always have to go for the big play, but put yourself in a friendly 2nd down. Now you have equal opportunity to both run and pass.
2nd and a yard. Baker to throw. A short one there to Otten. And he's into the end zone. Cade Otten. Touchdown, Buccaneers.
But you think back to their first possession of this game, Mike, it resulted in a punt. Not exactly the fast start the coaches told us was so important as this game unfolds. They get the ball back for possession 2. Now they try to find some rhythm, find their identity of the game plan, and they come away with 6. So that's how you bounce back in this league. It's not always going to be perfect. Really nice job settling into this game here with their 2nd possession.
On is Chase McLaughlin for the extra point. The kick is good. And the Buccaneers move out to a 7-3 lead. Both teams ready to go once more as the kick's away. On the return, it's Parker Washington. And he'll be brought down right around the 25-yard line. The Jaguars offense makes their way back out to the field for their next possession. They trail by 4, a touchdown gives them the lead. Drive begins with 1st and 10. In motion comes Thomas. On first down, Lawrence. And he can't hang on through the contact. It's incomplete. What a good job defensively to meet him just as the ball was arriving. And it'll be second down.
So as halftime looms, Mike, they have to find a way to capitalize on this drive right here and make sure they end the half with some sort of points. Now, that incompletion, not ideal, but at the very least, it stops the clock. Catch your breath, get back in the huddle, and this next play, it's got to be a gotta-have-it best play call.
Here's 3rd and 7. Back to throw. Lawrence. And that is incomplete. Trying to get it to Travis Etienne that time. And that's going to lead to a 4th down.
This offense has to find a way to be better on 1st and 2nd down, Mike. Living in these 3rd and long situations, must pass, is not a recipe that their offensive coordinator wants to operate in.
Now, fair catch, and he'll take it at about the 24-yard line. The Buccaneers offense starting to trot out for this next possession. The lead sits at 4, so they'll try to add on to that. This drive begins with 1st and 10. Mayfield to throw. Get this complete right side to Otten.
Nice job here by the defense. Did a good job just covering up everything for the most part. So once this ball was caught, really didn't have much of a choice but to just head out of bounds and pick up a modest gain.
Throwing on 2nd down, Mayfield. They'll try to hit him with a screen. And they'll mark him down just shy of the 40.
And this is why most teams, Mike, decide to take the ball first after the halftime break, because they want to be able to control this middle 4. At the end of the first half, you can use your timeouts. You can use some strategy to steal an extra possession. If they're able now to go down and come away with points, they'll have a chance to double it up again right after the halftime break.
And they'll get about half of what they needed. It's a pickup of 5 and sets up 2nd and 5. Throwing is Mayfield. They'll look to set up the screen here. Give them 13 on that screen play. And a 1st down.
The thing that jumps out to me the most, Mike, is just how often the quarterback is able to throw the ball to his first read in the progression. So hats off to the play calling. Him and the quarterback seeing the game through the exact same set of eyes, and there is a lot of room to operate.
On 1st down is Mayfield. And he's going to have to eat this one as down he goes. After the loss of 3, it is 2nd and 13. Now Mayfield. Down the field, it's Evans. And he's in. Mike Evans. Touchdown, Tampa Bay. A terrific play all the way around. Finished off by the receiver, who not only made the grab, but Greg turned it up and takes it into the end zone.
And that's the tricky part, Mike, that transition from receiver to runner. And in this case, he does it flawlessly. Look the ball in, secure the catch, and then get upfield and get yourself in the end zone.
On comes McLaughlin to add the PAT. The kick is good. And the Bucs extend their advantage to 14-3. They didn't leave much time on the clock to put together a drive here at the end of the first half. And the kickoff's coming their way. On the return, it's Devin Duvernay. And he'll be taken down right at the 29-yard line. They'll come up here first and 10. And they're just going to run it here up the middle. Trying to find somewhere to move forward, but nothing going. Tackled for the loss of a yard.
Brings up 2nd and 11 at the 28-yard line.
So we've reached halftime here, and the visiting Buccaneers have the advantage as we head downstate to Orlando. And we'll check in with Jonathan Coachman, who's got our EA Sports halftime report.
Okay, Michael, thanks very much. And with that, we welcome you all into our EA Sports studios. This is the halftime report. The second half, straight ahead. Time to get back to it. And for the call, let's rejoin Mike Tirico and Greg Olsen.
Coach, thank you. Back here on EA Sports as we count down to the kickoff of the second half. First half played out a bit as we expected. We'll see if there's a surprise coming up. Both teams set to go, and the second half is underway. A good return as he takes it across the 30. Baker Mayfield and the Bucs ready to get back to work. And we run you through the highlights here. It has been a very big performance from the quarterback position. Instrumental in leading and executing, and now trying to finish strong and take his team to the finish line. Three tight ends in the game to start the drive. On the handoff, it's Irving. And he surges forward for a gain of about 5. They'll break the huddle. It's 2nd and 5. Here comes Otten in motion. He finds his tight end, Keith. And he'll be taken down. The gain is 6, and it's a new set of downs. He picked up the first down.
One of the easiest ways to negate these really good pass rushes in the NFL, Mike, is just to simply get the ball out of the quarterback's hand as fast as possible. And sometimes it's by design, sometimes it's based on need. But really nice job there by the quarterback, getting into the hands of his receiver and then see what he can do after the catch.
And he's down inside the 40-yard line.
Every once in a while, it just comes down to you need somebody in the huddle to just make a play. And it wasn't a whole lot fancy here. The quarterback just dumps the ball down, a quick underneath completion, and then really it's the yards after catch that did the rest. And that's what it takes. You're not always going to have the perfect play. You're not always going to dial up the perfect play against the perfect look. Sometimes players need to make plays, and that was a good one there.
They send Godwin in motion. On 1st and 10, here's Baker. To the tight end, Otten with the grab. And he's brought down after a gain of 6 on 1st down.
The drag route is such a good way to get the ball early into the hands of your tight end and take some pressure off the quarterback and give him an easy completion. The size and the athleticism allows them to try to pick up more yards, but do it after the catch.
Second down throw for Mayfield. And that's going to be incomplete. Coverage was good that time. The contact jarring the ball loose and forcing third down. Chris Godwin, the receiver he was looking for. And it's going to be third down. To throw is Mayfield. And that ball out of reach toward the sideline. It'll be an incompletion. He was trying to fit that one into Mike Evans. And it's going to bring up fourth down.
And up until this point, this has been an incredibly efficient game from this quarterback. I mean, it's hard to think. Here we are in the second half, and that's only his second incomplete pass. So finally, the defense is able to do something to disrupt his timing and finally try to get him out of this groove. And this is what you want. I mean, you clearly have the advantage, but you want to continue to apply pressure. Can you score every time you get the ball? They're able to do that here. They tack on 3 and extend their lead.
The kickoff team is out on the field, and we're back to it as the kick's away. Duvernay on the return. And he'll be brought down past the 25. Decent field position to start this drive. The Jaguars offense ready for their first possession of this second half. They trail by 2 touchdowns, so the time is now. Got to get that rally going. It starts with 1st and 10. Working out of the gun, it's Lawrence. The outside, complete to Thomas.
Certainly not the biggest play of the day, but a good example of picking up positive yardage, staying ahead of the chains by a well-timed ball and a well-timed route.
A good spot here, 2nd and a yard. On the draw, the give to Etienne. And not much there. He's back to the original line. No gain on that one.
Now the offensive coordinator's got a decision on his hand, Mike. It was 2nd and 1. He decides to go with a conservative run, gets stopped for no gain. He's in the exact same position now on 3rd down. Does he try to change it up, or does he just turn around and hand it off again?
They'll try and run for the first with Etienne.
Nothing real fancy about this call here, Mike, right? This 3rd and short, just get the ball to your running back, make sure he has enough space to pick up the first down, and they're able to convert.
Set to go now on 1st and 10. And he can't hang on through the contact. It's incomplete. What a good job defensively to meet him just as the ball was arriving. And it'll be 2nd down.
Even though it doesn't result in a sack, when you dial up the right pressure at the right time, Mike, sometimes that's all it takes to lead to that incompletion. The timing is just a little off between the quarterback and his intended target, and the ball falls incomplete.
He plunges forward for a couple of yards. Levante David doing his work on defense. They need 8 as they come up for 3rd down. From the shotgun, it's Lawrence. And they're going to track him down. He couldn't find a receiver, and down he goes.
In what's been a pretty impressive defensive performance here today, the pass rush has been a little underwhelming. They've been non-existent up until this point, so as they finish this game out, it's got to feel good for them to see this pass rush start paying some dividends.
Punting unit comes on. Jaguars will kick it away. This returnable with Palmer. And some nifty running on the return. Picked up some good yardage before he was taken down. The Buccaneers offense ready to get back at it. As we look back at some of the highlights of this one, you'll see a lot of them, Greg, coming from the passing game. They've done a nice job picking the defense apart.
Yeah, and I think that's the right way to say it. It hasn't necessarily been just a bunch of deep shots, a bunch of explosives. It's been more methodical. It's been precise. They've really been all over their execution, and this is about as close to a complete performance as you're going to see from any offense throughout the course of this season.
From the 35, it's 1st and 10. Out of the shotgun, Mayfield. That's his tight end, Otten. They'll get about 4 here as he is taken down.
It's not the big play they were hoping for, but first down efficiency, staying ahead of the chains, is what every offense is trying to find, and it brings up a manageable 2nd down.
Here's a 2nd and 6. Throwing is Baker. On a blitz, overwhelming the offensive line, and down he goes.
Early in this drive, they're trying to establish some offensive rhythm, but after that 2nd down sack, really puts them in a must-pass. You don't want to be in 3rd and long very often in the NFL. It's not a very high percentage conversion rate, and with the danger of a 3-and-out, they better hold up here in pass protection.
So, backed up after the sack, and now it's 3rd and long. From the gun, it's Mayfield. He's got a touchdown on the books from earlier, and that catch gets him a 1st down.
These crossing concepts are frequently used, Mike, throughout the entire game, all across the league. And what it does is it creates a lot of natural rubs. You run out the backside of the defense and rely heavily on the yards after the catch, and it's exactly how they're able to pick up this big game.
A fresh set of downs to work with. It is 1st down and 10. Mayfield. To the left side, to Godwin.
This pitch and catch may have looked routine, but I promise you, Mike, these types of anticipatory throws, especially outside the numbers, they don't occur without countless reps, oftentimes when nobody's even watching.
They'll work now on 2nd and 4. Man in motion, heading left. On 2nd down, Baker. And it'll be a short pickup. That's not enough for the 1st down. So, 3 quarters have come and gone. You're watching the NFL on EA Sports. Third and a yard. Going to try to pick up the 1st down with his own read.
Sometimes, Mike, the best plan is also the simplest plan. And for this team, just snap the ball to your quarterback, let him find some daylight, and go get that 1st down himself.
Now a 1st and 10 from the 38-yard line. Here's Mayfield. This one on target to Godwin. And they bring him down, but not until they get inside the 30-yard line.
An interesting decision there by the play caller to put this ball in the air. Mike, you're up by 2 scores. Traditional wisdom says, hey, we're up by 2 scores late in the 4th quarter. We've got to keep this clock moving. You don't want to risk an incompletion. Now, they convert. They're able to secure the catch and pick up a fresh set of downs. That's going to enable them to continue to burn more clock. And without a stop, their opponent's not going to get the ball back. A little surprising here, Mike. They continue to throw the ball with this type of lead here in the 4th quarter. But with the day they've had, I don't know if I could really blame them. I mean, with the amount of man coverage that they're seeing, right now, the quarterback's just saying, what's my best matchup? Who do I love to gain separation? And just throw him the ball. And for the most part of the game, it's continued to work.
Here's a 2nd and 9. To throw is Mayfield. There's that man again. Another catch. And this drive's going to continue. They bring him down, but not before he picks up 1st and goal for his team.
And this is the blueprint, Mike. The ability to sustain and maintain possession and methodically move the ball down the field in the process. The defense has had no answers up until this point, and now the next step is, can they come away with 6? Because anything less than that, after this long drive, would be a bit of a letdown.
From the 2 now, here's 2nd and goal. They send the tight end in motion. They'll try to run this one in. Powering forward. He's in. Bucky Irving. Touchdown, Tampa. Greg, that's one of those scores where it's not completely over, but it's getting to be about that time.
Yeah, Mike, I just think they're entering miracle stage right now, and I just don't think there's any coming back from this deficit.
McLaughlin now for the extra point. It's up and through. And the Bucs extend to a 24-3 lead. Both teams ready to go once more as the kick's away. Washington now to return it. Now an opening past the 30. Nice job on the return. He's down close to the 35-yard line. Following the kickoff, we have an injured player on the field. That not a welcome development here late in a one-sided game. They'll break the huddle. Coming up now for 1st and 10. To throw is Lawrence. He's going to run it. And he slides and covers up at the end, avoids the hit, and picked up decent yardage along the way.
Well, give him some credit. Initially, that looked like it was going to be a sack. He's able to escape the pressure and get away, picks up a little bit of yardage, but at least he avoids taking that shot.
2nd down, Lawrence. And that's going to wind up incomplete.
This is one of those situations that plays directly into the hands of the defense because, think, Mike, they know this offense has to be one-dimensional. This has to be a pass. So what do? They bring in extra defensive backs. They clog up the back end. And at the end of the day, there's just nowhere for the offense to go with the ball.
He's got his tight end. It's Ingram. And he's taken down inside the opponent's 35.
And this is a tricky part of the game for any defense. You find yourself protecting a late lead, and the age-old question is, do you remain aggressive? Do you try to just keep the ball from being thrown over your head and make everything be tackled and played in front of you? That's what every defensive coordinator struggles with, so they can't get too soft here as they try to hold on to this lead here late.
That's a gain of 16. This offense is humming. A 1st down. A give for Etienne, heading right. He'll fight forward for a short pickup to the 16. So 2 minutes left to play in the second half. Greg and I back on EA Sports after this. Second down and 8. Lawrence now. Now a screen set up for ETN. Here's 3rd and 2. Here's Lawrence to throw. That is incomplete. And here we go. They're down to what could be their final play. It's 4th down.
They couldn't quite connect there on that short pass, Mike, and I just think it's worth reminding everyone how different the concepts are down here in the red zone than what the rest of the game plan calls for in the normal part of the field.
Kirk is the motion man. Now or never, they'll throw on 4th down. This one incomplete. The defense up to the challenge there. They force the incompletion, and they'll take the ball over on downs. The Buccaneers offense getting their final instructions before heading back onto the field. We'll see how they want to attack things here, backed up deep in their own end. It's 1st and 10. They'll run it. It's Irvin. He'll be taken down after a gain of 2. They'll come up on a 2nd down and 8. A give. This is Irving. And he'll get this very close to a 1st down. A nice run there. We'll just end up a little bit short.
Very positive returns on that run. I mean, really, the only thing not to like is that they weren't able to move the chains. But you know what? The way he ran there, I think they go right back to him and see if he has even a bigger carry in him.
Here comes Otten in motion. From the gun on 3rd down, it's Mayfield.
Now, that was a nice looking grab. Really nice footwork there on the sideline to stay in bounds, but after all that, it's still not going to result in very much.
So they come to the line for 1st down and 10. On the ground, it's Irving. And he'll get 4 here, up to the 24-yard line.
At the 24-yard line.
So a win here for the visiting Bucs. They didn't quite get the shutout they were hoping for and likely deserved. This was a tremendous defensive performance. They held the other guys to just a field goal, that's all. That defensive unit was the driving force in this victory. And that'll do it for my partner, Greg Olson. For our entire team, I'm Mike Tirico. This has been a presentation of the NFL on EA Sports. With that, we say so long, everyone.
Here we go again. You ready?
Get the back
Yeah.
walk.
Money talks, what the is he saying? Huh? You can ask his and ask his who the man. Bro, them get the stepping like parades about them bands. My look Tinkerbell, cause I'm fly as Peter Pan. Yeah. Let's go get some money.
It's the NFL on EA Sports, and we've got a showdown in the Sunshine State. This should be a good one to watch. Coming up next.
Well, as soon as you see that pirate ship in the north end zone, you know exactly where we are. It's the home of the Buccaneers, Raymond James Stadium in Tampa Bay. Joined by a former NFL quarterback up in the booth, Mr. Brock Heward. I'm Kate Scott. And Brock, you can brag if you'd like to, because I know you got quite the big arm in your days with the Huskies and the Seahawks in Seattle. Well, we've got a couple of quarterbacks here who also know how to push that football down the field.
Yeah, you got a couple QBs who are going to keep these defenses honest today, because the moment they get greedy in coverage or get too aggressive in the pocket, either of these quarterbacks can drop a dime, drop a deep throw right over them for big yardage, or maybe 6 points too.
The weather will not be a factor today. We have absolutely beautiful conditions here. And we're off from Tampa. And in the end, he's able to get it to what used to be a touchback. It's at the 25 after the return. So here are the Jaguars taking over for the first time on offense. And bringing them out, a former #1 overall pick out of Clemson in 2021, Trevor Lawrence.
Trevor Lawrence has had a remarkable career. Over 50 starts in high school and a winner all the way along. National champion and 3-year starter at Clemson, and really a starter from day one after the first pick in the draft in Jacksonville. The key for Trevor at this level, though, is to do it season in and season out. That's what the greats before him have done. The Bradys, the Mannings, the #1 picks of the past. If you want to become a great and you want to take your game to another level, you got to do it year in and year out.
They get 28 out of that play. And that'll be good for a Jacksonville first down.
You know what I like about that, Kate? I like that they're not coming out slow. They're willing to go with some looks here that will yield big yardage down the field instead of just settling for dinking and dunking the ball.
One play in, and this drive is already into enemy territory. 1st and 10, it's Lawrence. He's on the move. He takes it himself. And he's brought down after a nice gain and a first down.
As long as these are the results he's getting, they're going to be just fine with him calling his own number. He does such a good job of seeing the field and knowing when it's his time to take it himself.
All set up now for 1st and 10. Lawrence to throw it. Complete. It's Ingram. And he gets this down inside the red zone before going out.
I know I can sound like a broken record when I talk about timing and getting the ball out on time and on rhythm, but these outcuts, it is so imperative, and the best of them make it look oh so easy.
Nice spot here for the offense. It's 2nd and 1. Got a man. It's Thomas. And he maybe got back to the line there, but no further.
You know, Kate, it's almost as if the defense invited him to make that throw. That was a play they knew they could defend, and they stopped it right at the line.
3rd down, 1 yard to go. They'll give this up the middle to ETN. And he's dropped just short of the marker, maybe a yard away. Now after the run, we see some trainers headed out for an injured player who was shaken up. Only need the length of the football. It's 4th and inches. Out of the gun, Lawrence. He finds him beyond the marker. And he'll go down. Looks like they're marking him at the 11. That's a clutch 7-yard pickup, and it pays off the call to go for it on 4th down.
Oh, so close to getting off the field. But the 4th down conversion keeps that defense out there. That was their shot to end this possession, sit on the bench to get their breath. But now they're going to have to buckle down and force another 4th down.
Into the end zone, but someone's able to knock it away. That's incomplete. Thought he had a touchdown there. So 2nd down coming up.
You know, down here in the red zone where there's a touchdown on the line, you really want to read the quarterback's eyes as a defender. Make sure you know where that throw is going and get in position to swat it away. That is well done.
Lawrence trying again on 2nd. This one's caught. And he's tackled after gaining a handful. Chance to move the chains here on 3rd and 4. Sticking in the air with Lawrence. Gets it towards the end zone, but it's incomplete. That throw doesn't lead to 6. And 4th and 4 coming up.
Oh, that is going to haunt him. A drop touchdown in the end zone. We'll see how good his mental toughness is if he can move past it quickly and make an impact for them later.
The kick by Shudak is good. And the opening drive of the game ends in 3 points.
Well, I know once that drive stalls out, that's where it really pays to have that reliable kicker on the sideline ready to bail you out. And he knocks that one right through to give him the lead.
All set for the kickoff. Little with the honors. Bucky Irving now to return. This return makes it up to the 25. So here now are the Buccaneers on offense to begin their first drive. They're brought out by a former #1 pick who always plays with energy and passion, Baker Mayfield.
There's just certain quarterbacks, the way they run on the field. You just say their name and just some adjectives and attributes pop up right away. For Baker Mayfield, scrappy, tough, a will to win. I'm not surprised at all to see himself back in the starting role. Not surprised at all to see him flourish. The dude is mentally tough, he's mentally strong, and he typically makes the most of his opportunities.
On the give, this is Irving. And he'll come up with a gain of 3 on the run up the middle.
I know that may look like a whole lot of nothing burger on the stat sheet, but those are the kind of plays, that inside run, that you see creative play action come off of later in the game.
2nd down now, 7 to go. Right back to Irving now. And once again, he doesn't manage much before getting brought down. They got 2 yards there, and that leaves them with 3rd down and 5.
Okay, that's a run that's ho-hum on the stat sheet, but if you see a bigger play on the ground later on, it'll largely be because of a play just like that one, softening up the front and opening the door for a bigger gap in the future.
3rd and short, Mayfield. That's caught for the first. And he'll pick up enough to move the chains.
That's what we call situational football. You spend all week working on your nickel passing game package to take advantage of 3rd downs just like that.
Markers reset, ball at the 37. 1st and 10, it's Mayfield. This one's taken in by Otten. And he made a bid for midfield there, but stopped on his own side at the 49. They'll move the chains after that pickup of 12.
You want to become a quarterback's best friend? Do that. Turn a short little gain, a short little pass into some yards after catch, and that quarterback will find you again.
1st and 10 from a yard shy of midfield. Mayfield now from the gun. Grabbed by Chris Godwin. And this is marked down right along that 40-yard line. That's an 11-yard pickup, and it gives them the first down.
That is what elite offenses are all about. Why worry about 3 downs when you need only 1? Move the chains in one play and keep driving that defense backwards.
Baker throwing again. That's going to be caught by Evans. And he'll get this down to the 33-yard line.
It's not just imperative that a quarterback knows man or zone. Same thing for a receiver, especially on a drag route. When he sees zone coverage like that, just settle down, find the soft spot, and give your quarterback a chance.
After a good pickup, they're set up with 2nd and short. Handoff headed right, Irving. And he's tackled with the first down yardage.
Looky here, you don't even have to worry now about a 3rd down call as that run moves the sticks. Now that call you had ready, though, you can recycle it. Save it for later for that next 3rd down coming.
They've worked it downfield very well to begin the drive. It's 1st and 10 at the 28. Baker now off the play fake. And someone stepped in. It's intercepted. Foye Oluokun with the pick. And the Jaguars get the football on the first turnover of the contest. Already in an early hole on the scoreboard. That is not what they needed in response, Brock. Giving away possession with the pick.
You know, we got a lot of game left, obviously. Nowhere close to them putting it away. But you can see things starting to unravel a little bit, even after just 2 possessions. A touchdown here could really continue that momentum towards an early runaway.
Chance here for one final play before the end of the quarter. Here's Etienne to begin the drive. And he drives that front backward on a gain of 4. Only a solitary field goal so far as we're through 1 quarter. Just 3-0 is our score. More from Raymond James Stadium coming up after the break. Back for the 2nd quarter. It's Jaguar football. They start with 2nd and 6. From the shotgun, Lawrence. He's got the hook up to Ingram. And he'll pick up enough to move the chains.
That's just great instincts. Go air it out on 2nd down rather than just play conservative and run it. They hit a weak point in the coverage and don't need to worry about 3rd down at all.
New slated downs to approach here from the 40. First down throw, Lawrence. This is hauled in by Ingram. And they'll make the stop up at the 46-yard line.
That is the epitome of staying on schedule. That kind of completion right there on 1st down. Well, it opens up the entirety of the playbook for 2nd down. 3rd and short in your back pocket. You can get even more aggressive and take that shot.
Lawrence now off the play action. Pass brought in by Parker Washington. And he's going to be across midfield close to the 45 before going out. Call it 7 yards on the play, and that's enough for the first down.
I'm sure coach and play caller doesn't mind making the job a little bit easier. You know, play calling's a lot simpler and easier when you count on the offense to move the chains on those early downs.
Here's Etienne on first down. And he's caught behind the line for a loss.
Well, he was supposed to be the one who chipped away a few and got a new set of downs started right in rhythm. Instead, he's now forced to pick himself from behind the line thanks to a great effort defensively.
Back to the line they go. It's 2nd down. Lawrence in the pistol. And they're going to bring him down at the 36. 12 yards on that play, and a good call nets him the first.
You know, Kate, you'll find teams go to this crossing route concept sometimes a dozen times a game. And a lot of times it's for shorter yardage, but sometimes things break in the right coverage for a much bigger impact play, just like that.
On 1st and 10, here's Lawrence. Has him on the quick hitter. And they can't bring him down until he gets into that red zone at the 19. It's a gain of 17 on that one. And that's a Jaguar first down.
Good offenses. Okay, good play callers know how to utilize their personnel. They know where they wanted him. They wanted him on a route in space where he could make that initial play comfortably, but then go to work after.
A new set of downs forthcoming. It's 1st and 10. Now toss it to Etienne. And he won't salvage that. It's a loss on the play.
Talked to a bunch of different GMs, Kate, especially around draft time, and they all say the same thing. Linebackers are so hard to find. It's hard to transition from the college game that's in so much space to this game where you've got to play in a phone booth, yet have that explosiveness to chase a play on the outside down like that linebacker just did.
Gets to space right side. And as they bring him down, let's check the penalty flag.
Holding offense.
A game they were pretty happy with goes away via the penalty. And now we're going to wait to see how they respond. Offense to the line for 2nd down. Lawrence working from the gun. Throw wheeled in by Thomas. And this is pushed ahead for a gain of 5. Tackle made by Kalijah Cansey. And for the Buccaneers, it's a nickel look. 3rd down coming. Lawrence throwing here. Cut near the goal line. It's a Jacksonville touchdown. So, Brock, this offense looking sharp here in the first half as they extend their lead.
You know, and when things are going well, sometimes you really just get into a groove. And this is a unit that's putting the pieces together.
Cam Little to try the extra point. The point after splits the uprights. And the Jaguars make it a 10-point ball game.
Buccaneers, nothing.
All set for the kickoff. Little with the honors. On the return, here's Irving. In pretty solid field position starting out here, Brock. He's tackled at the 29. So the Buccaneer offense getting out there for their 2nd drive. They now trail by double digits after that last score, Brock. It's 10-0 partway through here. Offense ready to begin this drive. 1st and 10. Shotgun handoff to Irving. And he's just spinning his wheels, man, this entire first half. They drop it behind the line.
Tackled back at the 26-yard line.
We're at the 2-minute warning now from Raymond James. The Buccaneers looking down a very long field. All right, here we go. 2nd down. Baker now from the gun. That won't be caught outright. It's incomplete.
Can't cover it much better than that. Really well covered, Kate, on that play. There just simply was not a window for him to sneak that throw in.
No connection on the last play, and now it's 3rd down. Irving here from the gun. And this one gets to the 33-yard line before it's stopped. The defense calls a timeout. That's their first. They'll have 2 left to work with before halftime. Tampa Bay in punt formation now. Out to return this for the Jaguars, Devin Duvernay. And he gets his guys a few yards before they bring him down on the return. The Jaguars and Trevor Lawrence set to take over on offense once again. They seem likely to carry the lead into the locker room, but some points here to end the half could make things even more comfortable. They'll get this drive started. 1st and 10. Now they'll throw out of the gun. Escapes the pocket. Steps up, and he's running with it. And they finally bring him down, but that is a big gain and a new set of downs. It's a 24-yard gash, and it gives them the first down.
Obviously, a defense wants to take away all the reads and prevent any kind of big throw for the first down. Fine. Well, this QB, he'll just lower his head and gash the defense with one of the biggest runs of the game.
One play in, and this drive is already into enemy territory. 1st and 10, it's Lawrence. A quick slant caught by Washington. And they get this down roughly to the 34-yard line. He picks up 15 on the play. And that'll be good for a Jacksonville first down.
I love throwing on first down. And when you see a first down pass just like that, it's taking advantage of a matchup you planned for, and you go out and execute.
Gets this one into the hands of Christian Kirk. And he's brought down at the 17-yard line. The big play nets him 17 yards. And that's a Jaguar first down.
From a great throw to a nice route and catch to moving the chains, there wasn't a whole lot not to like about that amazing play.
They'll keep this drive moving and come to the line for 1st and 10. From the red zone now. Touchdown, Jacksonville. It seems like a lot of the time, Brock, even if the results aren't quite as flashy every rep, tight ends are even more reliable scorers than a lot of receivers are when it comes to the passing game.
Yeah, I would agree with that, but there's also a lot more real estate for them to work with, right? Think of the receivers. They got to deal with the sidelines, that 12th defender. Many of these tight ends, they've got a ton of field to work with, and when they prove to the quarterback they can be a difference maker, he'll look for them.
On is Little for the extra point. Extra point sent right down the middle. And the Jaguars take a 3-possession lead.
Buccaneers, nothing.
All set for the kickoff. Little with the honors. Return starts from the goal line. And the return sets them up just beyond their own 20. First and 10 now with all of 15 seconds left to utilize in this half. Yep, as expected, they go to the ground to start this one off. And they limit the damage just a few yards on that gain. Stopped by Foye Oluokun. Give them a few yards on that run. It's 2nd and 7. So it's halftime, and the visiting Jaguars have played themselves to a nice little lead thus far. Now we'll keep it in-state, but send you a couple hours away to our buddy in Orlando. It's Jonathan Coachman. He's got our EA Sports Halftime Report.
All right, Kate, thanks very much. We'll let you and Brock catch your breath as we welcome the rest of you to our EA Sports Halftime Report. This was an extremely one-sided first half. One team showed up, ready to go. The other's been in a daze thus far, but there's still plenty of time left for this one to tighten up significantly.
All right, thank you, Coach, and we are back and about set to begin the second half. All set for the kickoff. Little with the honors. On the return, here's Irving. And the return sets them up just beyond their own 20. The Buccaneers getting their offense set to go to begin the third. And things starting to get a little out of hand for them, Brock. That last score made it 17-zip. And the drive will start out with a 1st and 10. To throw, Mayfield. Short pass brought in. He's corralled after a modest 4-yard gain. Stopped by Foye Oluokun.
Every once in a while, it's fine to be conservative on first down, especially when you get enough to stay on schedule and get a little something coming out of it, too.
2nd and 6 coming up here. Here's the give to Irving. And it's a 3-yard gain through the traffic. Stopped by Foye Oluokun. This offense looking to convert as they come up on 3rd down. Once again, Irving. And that's good yardage with a new set of downs.
That right there, that will make the coaches happy. He didn't just get the first down, but got a healthy chunk of bonus yards afterwards.
Football on that 47-yard line, 1st down. Shotgun snap for Mayfield. Short pass caught by his tight end.
He's just one of those guys, Kate. Even when he's not open, he's still a target thanks to that physicality and his ability to just play bully ball. They don't like forcing into coverage, but sometimes when you got a bully like him that can create space, you just find a way to get him the ball.
They'll come to the line here, 2nd and 9. From the gun, Mayfield. No one open, so he chucks this to another county. Last pass unsuccessful, and they have 3rd down here. Here's Baker to throw. He lofts it deep left. And he's there to send that one away, incomplete.
How many times do defenders hear from their coaches, read and react, read and react? You got to read where the quarterback's eyes are going, and then more importantly, you got to react as he begins to throw and knock that ball away.
The Buccaneers out and into punt formation. And this will be his 2nd effort of the contest. Ooh, it's away, but he knows he mishit that one. Headed for the sideline. And no chance at a return as this one heads across the sideline at the 25-yard line. The Jaguars ready for their next series. Led out on offense by their quarterback. And as we see some of the highlights from their showing, his work a big part of why they're in front right now. Having a nice, solid game as their offensive leader. I think we can say he's had a firm grip on the wheel and has really driven them to this advantage. They're out and set, 1st and 10. Now Lawrence on the play fake. And he has it along the sideline, but he got a little too close to that edge. They're going to say he's out of bounds. We've got 2nd down.
I think if you look up in phase in the defensive encyclopedia, that is a picture-perfect form of it. He was all over him in coverage, really forcing the incompletion.
So after the incompletion, here comes the 2nd down call. From the gun, ETN gets it. Still working past the 40. And he's finally brought down at the 45-yard line. It's a gain of 19 on the play. And that'll be good for a Jacksonville 1st down.
Offensive coordinators tell us all the time, big runs only happen with coordinated efforts. Great block in the spring of guys hitting blocks downfield and a back who can show off his wheels.
Ball on the 45, 1st and 10. Slot man motioned over. 1st down, and they go right back to him. And he'll cross the 50 and start pushing onto the opposing side of the field. It's a solid 7-yard pickup on 1st down. Now they're going to have 2nd and 3.
So much to like about that run, Kate, particularly what he was able to get out of it. The defense, I think, feels a little fortunate they were able to track him down before an even bigger run and crossing that 1st down marker.
Short side option here. He's running left. And he's brought down for a loss.
It's easy for me to say up here in the friendly confines of the booth, Kate, but that was not the right read. And you hate seeing him absorb yet another hit at the end of the play. You never want him taking unnecessary shots throughout this game.
3rd down, Lawrence to throw. He's on the move. Trying to get away from the pressure, but he can't, and they drop him. And the defense comes through to back him up ahead of 4th down.
Wow, it has been such a good day offensively for the guys up front. That's actually the 1st sack by this defense. And now comes the real question mark. Will it lead to more? Or will this offense learn a lesson and get back to the rhythm they've been in protecting?
On 4th down, it's Logan Cook on for the Jaguars to punt it away. So this one will go out of bounds, and they'll start the drive inside their own 30. Here come the Bucs on offense now. They're running out of time to get this game into a more manageable spot, Brock. We've got a 3-score deficit, and we're in quarter number 3. Drive starts out with a 1st and 10. Straight ahead, it's Irving. And he found some running room for a nice gain. Pickup of 8 on the run, and that sets up 2nd and 2.
Well, that doesn't net a 1st down. You get yards like that in the run game, you will take it in the NFL.
After a good pickup, they're set up with 2nd and short. They send the tight end in motion. Mayfield now from the gun. This one's taken in by Otten. And he's going to bring it up to the 40-yard line before he's stopped. That one ends up a gain of 6. And that's good for a Buccaneer 1st down.
That pitch and catch won't show up as a big play on the stat sheet, but it gives his own defense a little time to rest. It gives an offensive coordinator a new set of downs to work with.
Irving on the inside give. And he's brought down after a short gain. 2 on the pickup there, and it's going to be 2nd and 8. They'll run this with Irving. And he got it real close, but stopped just about a yard or so shy of that 1st down.
I'm not kidding you, Kate. A run of that length at the NFL level, honestly, is the equivalent of a run of 15-plus at the high school level. It's hard in the run game to make yards, and they just got a very successful one.
1 yard, all that's needed. This is 3rd and inches. Baker now. That's caught for the first. And they make the tackle at the 38. They'll move the chains after that pickup of 12. So we hit the end of the third quarter. It's not quite over yet, but it'd take a pretty miraculous comeback. We've got a 3-score game as we get set to start the fourth quarter. New set of downs for him at the 38. First down, here's Baker. And he just hucks this one away. Wasn't going to risk a throw or force something. It brings up second down.
You know, in the NFL, offensive-minded teams will call it a perfect Friday. They don't want the ball to hit the ground once. And especially on these short to intermediate throws, you got to count on those being efficient and effective.
Throwing again is Baker. He keeps those feet in and makes the catch.
Quarterbacks will look for their tight end short in just about any situation. They take away the deeper options. Well, there's their consistent source of positive yardage, the trusty tight end.
3rd and 4 coming up now. Mayfield to throw again. He has the first over the middle. And he pushes this down to the 22-yard line. Give him an even 10 yards on the play. And that's good enough for a Tampa first down.
You know, they call that the money down for a reason, because you're just simply not going to last long in the NFL if you don't convert a good portion of your third downs. It's the money down. And nice to see them roll the dice and continue the series.
He's got it near the 8. And they get this down to the 7-yard line. That one goes for 15, and now they're going to have 1st and goal.
You know I love those chunk completions. They're so critical. Those chunk plays, they lead statistically so often to scoring. And then when you get it to a tight end and play action, it's just a little icing on the cake.
Baker throwing again. That one falls to the turf. Couldn't hang on. It's incomplete.
Making it harder than it needs to be right there. Just get the catch first. Guarantee some yards. And then worry about escaping the defenders and getting upfield.
So after the incomplete pass, here's 2nd and goal. Now it's Irving. Breaks the tackle, still going. And they make a stop at the last minute. It's a gain down to the 1. He picked up 6 on the run. Now they're facing 3rd and goal.
It's got to be so demoralizing as a defense when you go up against a running back who just keeps those legs churning like a piston in an engine, and that effort's contagious. This entire offense is getting a boost, and he busts those tackles.
And he gets in, touchdown! The Buccaneers get it back to within 2 possessions. A lot of pressure on him in that moment, Brock. Find a way to score, don't let it go to 4th and goal, and he finds a way to come through and gets in the end zone for 6.
Now, how about the other side? Beating the defense right there as well. That group who was so close to pulling off the goal line stand, yet all that motivation wasn't enough to stop him on 3rd and goal.
On is Chase McLaughlin for the point after. Right down the middle, it's good. And the Buccaneers cut the lead down to 10. That lead trimmed just a bit, down to 10 points now as the kick is up and away. Here's Duvernay on the return. And in the end, he's able to get it to what used to be a touchback. It's at the 25 after the return. Now the Jaguars offense ready to take over once more. And they're already up by 2 scores, Brock, but another one here would really put this one out of reach. Offense ready to begin this drive. 1st and 10. Out of the gun, a give to Etienne. And they've got him behind the line for a big loss.
This is one of those plays that I wish we had the huddle mic'd up, Kate, because I can assure you that offensive line in their own way is telling that running back, sorry, we did not give you any chance.
Everyone's prepped. It's 2nd down now. From the shotgun, Lawrence. An all-around tough play for him. He took a shot on the release, and it definitely affected the throw. It's incomplete.
Well, he needed another second to deliver the throw he wanted to. You got to give a lot of credit that time, Kate, to the pass rush for getting in and forcing him to dish it before he was ready.
So after that prior incompletion, we've got 3rd down. Here's Lawrence to throw. Dialing up a receiver screen. Keeps it moving. It's a huge pickup on the play. And that's a Jaguar 1st down.
You know, Kate, we often talk about flipping the field in special teams, right? A kick return, a good punt. Well, an explosive play like that does the exact same thing. Look at the difference in field position. By hitting on that shot, you've totally flipped the field and the tone of this drive.
Down inside the 40 now with a 1st down following that last play. Has him on the quick hitter. And that tackle stops him after a solid gain.
Kate, one thing I learned from the late, great Mike Leach is, yeah, the system was called air raid, but it wasn't just attacking downfield. His philosophy, and it played out right there, is you have to attack every inch of the field, both vertically and horizontally, without routes or in routes just like that.
On 2nd down, it's Etienne. And he's going to get this to the 29 before he stopped. It's a 3-yard gain, only a yard shy of the marker on 3rd down.
You know, they got some positive yards. That's a good thing. But too many plays like that, it just is too hard to pile together, get 1st downs against the better defenses in this league.
Etienne on 3rd down. Juke the defender. They can't stop him. And they catch up to him, but not until he's got a huge gain and a 1st down. They pick up 20 yards there. And that will set up 1st and goal. We've hit the 2-minute warning here in Tampa. Jaguars with a 10-point advantage. They'll run, Etienne. And he's going to advance them down to the 4-yard line. So quickly the defense burns a timeout here. 1:57 remaining in the game. Still chances to get these final 4 yards. It's 2nd and goal. Etienne will not get past the line. He's held up at the 4. No surprises here. Defense quick to stop that clock. We've got 1:53 left in this game. So now, here's 3rd and goal. Lawrence working from the gun. Flushed out of the... And he scores! It's a Jacksonville touchdown! The Jaguars can put this out of reach as they make it a 16-point lead. Trevor Lawrence with the touchdown. Great play by the QB there, Brock. The play broke down. He didn't have much of a choice other than to escape and improvise. And in the end, turned out to be the best call he could have made.
It is such a necessary tool in today's NFL for that QB to put right in his tool belt, Kate. You know, in my day, you could be a blacksmith, right? You just do the job and stay in the pocket. Not anymore. You got to be an artist. And you got to be an artist that can create when things break down. And that's big time to get a touchdown out of it as well.
Little tacks on the extra point. And the Jaguars take a 3-possession lead.
Buccaneers 7.
All set for the kickoff. Little with the honors. Tucker now on the return. And he's going to make this to the 28 before going down. The Buccaneer offense back out for another series. And this a final opportunity to make things a little closer in that final score. They'll get this drive started. 1st and 10. Now Mayfield. Makes the grab in bounds left side. And they finally bring him down, but that is a big gain and a new set of downs. It's a gain of 27 yards to move the chains.
Nice to see that connection, that chemistry working between the two of them.
Working fast as the clock ticks towards 0. 1st and 10. Here's Mayfield. Defender arrives right as the ball does, and the hit knocks it free. Incomplete. Just couldn't hang on through the contact. And we'll see what they do here on 2nd down. They haven't found it easy to score in this one, Brock, and physicality just like that, a big reason why.
And it usually is, Kate. I love defensive coordinators when they say, hey, it's not just what you see, it's what you hear. And you could hear the physicality of that knocking the ball loose.
No place to go, so he just threw it away. No connection on the last play, and now it's 3rd down. Baker now from the gun. Trying to push it deep downfield. And this one is dropped and incomplete. He had the pick in his hands, couldn't hang on. It's going to be 4th down. Almost a completion of the wrong team there. And they're going to be stuck with a 4th and long.
That was it. That was their chance to escape this series. They were looking for a way out without giving up any points, and that was their ticket off the field. Unfortunately, he just couldn't quite hang on.
A bit of desperation on this deep shot. And that one's going to be knocked away, and that's going to force a change in possession. So the defense rises to the challenge and gives the ball back to their offense.
Hey, I get it's already over, but go down swinging. Unfortunately, that play, like so many of them today, Kate, has been pretty indicative of how this contest has gone.
Jacksonville heading out there on offense. And taking a look at these highlights, Brock, just a reminder of the type of game that they have had throwing the football. It really has been the key to their success.
Yeah, they've just not only stayed on schedule here, Kate. Man, they've made some music, right? Great rhythm.
Yeah.
Not just ahead of schedule, but huge plays have followed. We've seen a lot of different looks and wrinkles throughout this performance, and it's been a joy to watch.
Victory formation here. Looks like they're going to take a knee on 1st down. Your favorite formation, right, Brock? The victory formation here as he takes a knee.
You got to expect the timeout is coming any moment now, right? If you want another shot with the ball, you'll need every second you can conserve on that clock.
Second down, probably going to see him kneel it again here. Running right is Bigsby. And he drives it up past the 45. A gain of 4 for them. That sets up 3rd and 7. So the Jaguars, the visitors in this one, but they take home the win. Well, partner, we spoke earlier about how much of a factor this home crowd was going to be. But even with the added boost from the friendly confines, couldn't will them to the victory.
Yeah, sometimes it just isn't your game. You're never going to win them all, even at home. But what's important now is learning from this defeat, hitting the film room, hitting the weights, making sure this doesn't happen again. Don't let this loss beat you twice.
So for Brock Huard, everyone here on our great crew, I'm Kate Scott, and this has been the NFL on EA Sports. It's a win for the Jaguars, as with that, we sign off from Tampa.